The jungle pulsed with life, a symphony of buzzing, chirping, and rustling that seemed to originate from every direction. The humid air hung heavy, clinging to every leaf and stone with a sheen of moisture. Above the dense canopy, the towering dactyl tree stood like a pale sentinel, its bark a stark, glowing white that seemed almost ethereal. The crown of the tree, shaped like the head of a pterodactyl, loomed over the jungle, its hollowed eyes gazing into the distance as if observing realms beyond the physical. Perched atop the highest branch of the tree sat Swoop, a green pterodactyl whose emerald feathers shimmered faintly in the sunlight. His talons gripped the branch with quiet strength, and his wings were folded tightly against his body, giving him an air of serene discipline. His gaze, distant yet piercing, surveyed the jungle below with the focus of one attuned to both the seen and unseen. The faint breeze rustling the leaves carried a promise of discovery. Swoop exhaled slowly, his breath steady as he watched the sun's rays pierce through the thin wisps of clouds, casting golden shafts of light across the jungle. Shadows shifted and danced in time with the swaying foliage, creating a tableau of movement and stillness. "Is this the time?" Swoop's voice broke the symphony of the jungle, calm and deliberate. For a moment, the jungle seemed to hold its breath, the sounds of life dimming as if waiting his answer. "Of course it is," he affirmed, his tone carrying quiet certainty. With practiced grace, Swoop unfurled his wings briefly, allowing the sunlight to catch the emerald sheen of his feathers. They shimmered like silk before folding back into place with precision. "Narrow the intent of the tome," he murmured, his words an invocation. The dactyl tree pulsed faintly beneath him, as though alive and responding to his voice. Swoop leapt from the branch, his powerful wings slicing through the humid air as he descended. His movements were fluid, a perfect harmony of form and function. The jungle opened beneath him, revealing a staircase carved into the forest floor. Two massive white stone pillars flanked the base of the steps, their surfaces worn smooth by the passage of time. A faint glow emanated from them, a charge of ancient energy lingering in their cores. Swoop landed softly at the base of the stairs, his talons clicking against the stone. The steps resonated with a subtle hum beneath him, vibrating with the energy of the jungle itself. He ascended slowly, each step deliberate. "These places are living words," Swoop said. His voice was steady. Play projected dreams from the depths. As he moved, the dense foliage shimmered. Images flickered in the air, hazy and fleeting, like holograms glimpsed through the veil of time. Battles, strange creatures, and alien worlds appeared and vanished in an instant, their forms intangible yet vibrant. "The quest dynamics are limitless," Swoop mused. His tone was contemplative. "Monuments of the mind." At the top of the stairs, the jungle opened into a clearing. Towering trees with white trunks and golden-tinged leaves surrounded the space, their canopies swaying gently in the breeze. Swoop paused, tilting his head to listen to the faint rustling of the wind as it wove through the leaves like a whisper. "Potentia sprouts its loom," he said, tapping a talon lightly against the ground. His voice dropped into a murmur, as though speaking to the jungle itself. What did Boyd discover? He turned his gaze to the trees, searching for answers in their intricate forms, the interplay of shadow and light casting shifting patterns across the ground. Tapping the chunks in direction of sequence, he continued, for it is the characters in relationship with the method that will take them through the next levels of arcane unbinding. A low breeze stirred the clearing, carrying with it a faint whisper, as though the trees themselves were responding to his musings. "Information from mysterious realms," Swoop said, his tone thoughtful. "Potential bound under hell." Swoop stepped forward, his talon brushing against a stone block embedded in the ground. The surface shimmered, projecting a holographic web of light in the air. The web pulsed, its intricate connections alive with energy. Stars, worlds, and abstract ideas wove together in an infinite tapestry that defied comprehension. "A new pattern of the infinite stock," Swoop murmured, his voice deepening with reverence. "Mind, the god of source in the omniverse." His eyes traced the threads of light, the vast network illuminating the clearing in a soft, otherworldly glow. "Small sprouts of information can expand in ways we cannot comprehend," he said, the words carrying a quiet awe. "A closed loop of imaginative content, forever becoming implosions of a new dream, seeds of play." Swoop moved past the block, his sharp eyes catching a glimpse of a white Kriya protruding from the dense foliage. Its crystalline surface glowed faintly, jagged edges catching the light like a beacon. "Kriya," he said softly, his voice tinged with admiration. "You are action. You are what gives rise to emergence." As he walked, his gaze fell upon a black bat idol nestled beneath a twisted tree. The idol's dark form flickered unnervingly, as though resisting the physical world. Before Swoop could step closer, the idol dissolved into shadow, melting back into the jungle's depths. "The goal's hierarchy lays down the structure that builds the flow," he murmured. "Generation in and of itself is tricky." He stopped beside another massive pillar, its surface inscribed with faint glowing runes that pulsed rhythmically like a heartbeat. Placing a talon against the pillar, Swoop spoke with quiet conviction. The energy of a pillar symbolizes a point in time. It gives context to the omniverse. The runes flared briefly, casting golden light across his face before fading. A world within transferred outward, he continued, given to you for reflection. The stone pathway beneath Swoop's talons wound through the jungle, leading to a small clearing where the canopy opened to reveal a stretch of open sky. In the distance, a materia staircase rose from the earth, its pristine white steps ascending into the clouds. At its peak, a white flag swayed gently in the breeze, a silent invitation to those bold enough to climb. Swoop stopped, his gaze fixed on the staircase. Determination flickered in his eyes, and his voice was steady as he spoke. Choose to expand, for it's all on you to build your way from augmented slumber. He paused, his words carrying the weight of experience. Each press is one of a kind, new worlds that emerge with each passing day. A soft smile touched his beak, his tone lingering with quiet joy. The freedom of play, he said. Imagination is, and always will be, the way. Swoop took a step forward, his talons clicking softly against the stone. Around him, the jungle shimmered with faint whispers and glowing light, alive with the promise of discovery. The staircase loomed ahead, a path to endless possibilities waiting to be explored.